It is 9 a.m. on a Tuesday. An unannounced FDA investigator has just walked into your facility lobby. They want the complete batch record for lot number BB 2024-0341, and they want it right now. For most manufacturers, this triggers the spreadsheet scramble. Quality assurance starts desperately cross-referencing paper binders, opening isolated Excel files, and tracking down the floor operator who ran that specific batch weeks ago. The fatal flaw here is how the industry views compliance. They treat it as a post-production assembly job, a stack of paperwork you build after the product is already in the bottle. This checklist model is incredibly fragile. If a single QA signature is missing, or an operator copied one spreadsheet cell incorrectly, the entire documentation chain collapses. You fail the audit. You cannot fix this with a better digital filing cabinet. The solution is BatchBuddy, a GMP-native operating system, where regulatory compliance is hard-coded directly into the physical manufacturing workflow. Surviving an FDA inspection does not depend on how fast your team can stable paperwork together under pressure. It depends entirely on whether compliance was natively built into the batch the exact day it was made. To see how that works, let's rewind to the specific day that batch was manufactured to see how the system intercepts errors before they happen. The most common variable that ruins manual math on the floor is raw material variability. Say your formulation calls for vitamin C at 100% potency, but the supplier lot you actually receive tests at 94%. If you rely on operators with clipboards to spot that discrepancy and manually recalculate the required weigh-in on the fly, mistakes slip through. You either ship an under-potent product that violates its label claim, or you accidentally waste expensive active ingredients. Look at this diagram of BatchBuddy's automated potency scaling. When the expected 100% target drops to 94.2%, the required ingredient quantity bar physically expands by exactly 6.2%. The software pulls the exact active potency directly from the incoming material certificate of analysis. It intercepts that data and automatically adjusts the required weigh-out quantity for the operator at the start of the run. This mathematical intervention protects the product's margin and its regulatory label claim without anyone on the floor ever touching a calculator. As the batch moves from blending down the line to final release, paper clipboards are entirely replaced by enforced digital workflows. The system fails closed. The software physically prevents the production run from advancing to the next stage or closing out until all mandatory QA electronic signatures are collected. At the same time, yield intelligence runs silently in the background. It captures output data at the end of the line, checking for statistical anomalies so it can flag a bad batch before it ever leaves the facility. This cryptographic chain doesn't just exist for the factory. It encapsulates the supplier's original certificate of analysis, the factory's production log, and the brand owner's final release into a single shared ledger. This hash chain locks every operator action, every signature, and every yield log into an append-only, tamper-evident audit trail. If someone tries to alter even a single character, the math breaks and the system visually rejects the change. Standard generic ERPs function as disconnected silos. In those systems, an administrator can quietly edit a record weeks after the batch shipped, leaving no evidence for an inspector or client. Because BatchBuddy mathematically locks actions at the exact point of creation, the compliance record provides an airtight defense for the manufacturer and their partners simultaneously. Which brings us back to the present day, with the FDA auditor still waiting in your lobby. Instead of a frantic scramble through filing cabinets, the quality assurance manager opens this dashboard and executes a single click to fulfill the request. They instantly pull a complete, tamper-evident, hash-chained batch record. An audit response time that used to take 3 panic-filled days drops to exactly 60 seconds. When compliance is your operating system, an unannounced audit stops being a business-ending vulnerability. It becomes a routine verification of a process that has already proven itself. This architecture scales far beyond a single factory floor. By connecting the supplier's data to the factory's output, it creates a secure link across the entire supply chain. This is the clearinghouse mode. BatchBuddy binds the raw material suppliers, the contract manufacturer, and the brand owners to the exact same immutable ledger of truth. This creates an operational trapdoor. Leaving the platform means breaking the live digital data chain that outside companies now rely on. The brand owner loses their compliance history, and the supplier loses their integrated purchasing loop. By hard-coding compliance into the operating system, a manufacturer provides their partners with a shared regulatory shield. Regulation stops being an external threat and becomes a durable competitive advantage.